Not cool sneaking up on people, man. Not cool. Hey, welcome everybody to a very special episode of Coffee with Big Cat. All of us here at Big Cat Studios, we do it for the people. I do it for the children, because I believe that children are our future. So go get the little fuckers, because I got something I want to tell them. Seriously. I know a lot of you have kids who are getting ready to go off to college, or maybe even home on break or whatever. Go get them. I've got something really important I want to tell them, and maybe you're not down with the street, don't know what kids are into these days, but I'm here to tell you that kids love hearing from grown-ups who tell them what to do. So I'm happy to deliver for them. So go get them. Go get them. I'll wait. How's things? God, I needed that. All right, come on in. All right, kids. Don't do drugs. Thank you. However, let's just say you've got a friend. No, not a friend. Your friend would never do drugs. You've got a friend of a friend. Some dopey guy who lives in the suite in the basement at the dorm, who's like, well, I want to do drugs. Well, here's what you can tell him as far as drugs go. How do we measure the safety of a drug, the toxicity of any compound? We do that by measuring the dose that will get you fucked up versus the dose that will kill you dead. And we ideally want a big space between the two, right? I know you think you've heard this before, but you haven't. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere with this. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. So how do we measure that ratio? We want a big, big, big distance between the effective dose and the lethal dose, right? So right here is some data I got from an article in New Scientist. And a lot of people quote this this data, although one piece of data was missing. It said this one's up there somewhere. So I went and I looked it up. I got this number from the DEA. The number for pot is 1,200. The next highest are 1,000. The next two safest compounds are 200 lower than that. So as far as drugs go, as far as safe drugs, there are no drugs except marijuana. That's what I'm saying. Somebody says, I want to do drugs. There are no drugs except marijuana. That's it. Now you can look at the next two safest, which are LSD and psilocybin. Yeah. But you know what? At that school you're going to, nobody has psilocybin. Nobody has LSD. I mean, you're not sure about it anyways. Even if they tell you, the LSD might be some shitty analog, the psilocybin might be LSD or some shitty analog sprinkled on some dried up shiitake mushrooms or whatever. So don't even bother trying to do psilocybin until you're 30. Maybe 25. No, 30. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. So let's go down this list a little bit. Like the next safest, we're getting into dangerous compounds now here, but the next safest one is nitrous oxide. Okay, let's say for example, this guy in the dorm, let's say he wants to do ketamine. Yeah, let's do some ketamine. That's a great idea. Let me ask you this. How much do you take? Do you know what the effective dose is? How many milligrams of product per kilogram of body weight in order to get the effective dose? No, you don't. You probably don't even know how many kilograms you weigh. You probably don't even know what a milligram is. The only way you get your information on dosage is from some jackass in the dorm who's like, well, I took this many and it fucked me up, so you should take this many. You're gonna put your health and safety in the hands of somebody who talks like that? No. The thing about pot is it's very difficult to consume a lethal amount of it. You just can't sit down and smoke 1,000 bowls in one day, or 2,000 bowls, whatever it would be. Important caveat, the edibles, the cookies, all that stuff, you can really mess yourself up with that, because again, you don't know the dosage, much like our ketamine example. You don't know the dosage. You don't know the dosage. You don't know the dosage. Now, there's something to be said for maybe doing edibles, because the smell of the smoke would draw the attention of law enforcement or RAs or police or, you know, other bummer people. But still, point being, if your friend wants to do drugs, there are no drugs except marijuana. Now let me show you one other thing. Look down here. This is alcohol. That's alcohol all the way down here. All these drugs are more dangerous than alcohol. These are all drugs that are safer than alcohol. Look at the difference between marijuana and alcohol. All the way down here. The alcohol is no joke. When I was my freshman year in college, there was a guy in another dorm who drank 17 shots of vodka and dropped dead. And I have to tell you that, owing to the school I went to, the dorm I lived in, and the people I lived in that dorm with, 17 shots didn't sound like a lot, but you can really mess yourself up, and after the first one or two, you lose your judgment on this sort of thing. That's a problem with the mixed drink, right? You know, you pour yourself one, or somebody else pours you one, you have that one, and then you start losing your taste for them. Your doubles become triples, your triples become more than that. You don't know how much you're consuming. So what I'm saying is, don't drink, particularly for underage, don't drink. But if you have to drink, drink beer only. Same as with the pot. It's hard to consume enough of it to kill you. You can do it. You can go driving too, and that'll kill you. But so if you're gonna drink, and there's beer, drink. If there's no beer, there's no drink. That's it. And don't drink any goddamn punch. Punch was invented to make girls tipsy. You have no business drinking punch if you're a dude, and you definitely have no business drinking punch if you're a girl. So forget that shit. Don't drink liquor. You can take up bourbon at 25, and you can take up scotch when you're 30. Scotch and psilocybin at 30. That's what you can do. So, the title of this video is deceptive. The real thing is, don't drink, don't do drugs. But if you have to drink, only drink beer. If you have to do drugs, only smoke pot. Your safety is paramount. This has been a very special episode of Coffee with Big Cat. God, I needed that. Feel free to click the subscribe button. Feel free to click on any of my advertisers. Like me on Facebook. And this weekend we'll get really messed up, man. Take care. It's Coffee with Big Cat.